Hello all. Right, here early at David Lloyd for an 18-ton full of fencing to be unloaded, and I thought I was going to have to do it all on my own. Had a little bit of a go. It's heavy. As it turns out, the team's coming down. Still, I digress. Right, I've been updating a few of my videos lately because obviously I've been doing this a little while now. Kind of been about 3-4 years, I guess, since I started, and things change. So one of the most important ones, one of the ones that, you know, gets a lot of views and all that kind of stuff, it's the one that we all want to know about. It's kind of like, how much do I charge? Okay, I'm going to have a go on the exchange. Just bought myself a van. How much do I charge? And I did a video about 3 years ago when I was running around in Luton. How much should you quote if you want to win prices on the exchange? But things have changed. 3 years has gone on. Cost of living crisis. Diesel's gone through the roof. You can't keep running at the same prices. You can't run the same prices you was running, otherwise I'll be charging 2 and 6. So yeah, so everything's changed. So what I thought I'd do is I'd do an up-to-date what I think you should be quoting if you want to win jobs on the exchange. And I thought, I'm not going to go into this blindly because I'm driving a lorry now. So I'm going to ask a few people. And I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll ring some of my mates who are shippers. And I'll say, okay, what are you looking to pay? I said, no, I'm not trying to get the inside track. I'm not trying to carve anybody up. I thought it would be useful because it would stop ridiculous quotes coming in. People going, well, I've got a small van and I'm going to drive it round the corner for £3,500. You know, that kind of thing. And they all kind of went a bit secret squirrel on me. All kind of like, aha, she's not Leclerc. I don't know why. One guy said, well, in fairness, it was like, we have to speak to the boss and he's not in, or they're going to ring you back, and they didn't ring you back. So then I rung Arthur because I know what we quote, and I rung Daniel, Superhero Transport Manager, and he gave me a rough idea, although he mainly quotes prices. I know the prices that I'm quoting on Luton's and what I'm getting. So it's not, I mean, he does forward the odd job, but not so much. And then I rang a couple of other people I know that are running to give us an idea. And the bottom line is, everything seems to have gone up by about 20 pence. And your bottom, and it's like 20s, it's all an apple, it's all a score. So, whereas before I was saying, to give you a rough idea, for a small van, 65p, going up to Luton about £1.10, at 20p on that. So now I would say, I spoke to our firm, Gemma said, we're looking to pay 80 to £1 on a small van, £1 to 120 on a short wheelbase, 120 to 140 on a medium wheelbase, 140 to 160 on a long wheelbase, 160 to 180 on an extra long wheelbase, and 180 to £2 on the Luton. She said all this, so I went, oh really? Even Al was mumming in the background, and I thought, sounds like a lot to me. Don't get me wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong, we'll get them off as cheap as we possibly can, so don't think, oh, let's van go. So Luton, I'm going to stick a £2 bid in, because if someone out there who's not watching the videos, and let's face it, there's probably quite a few out there that are not watching the videos, I know one of my mates, he puts in a 130 bids on Luton's. I think you're too cheap. Tony used to say that to me. I used to win 2 out of 3 jobs. I used to say to him, I said, how much should we? But he said, you're too cheap. And I went, yeah, mate. He said, but then he said, but I bet you win a lot more jobs than I do. And that's the thing. The deeper you go, the more chance you have of getting a job. The dearer you go, the more chance you have of getting money. Everybody does it their different way. Spoke to Daniel. He said his price range is kind of £1 up to 150. So small van £1, short wheelbase 110, medium wheelbase 120, long wheelbase 130, extra long wheelbase 140, Luton 150. That he said, and curtain side maybe a little bit more. That sounded more reasonable to me. So you read in between the lines where you go with that. I think Daniel's is probably about bang on. I think Gemma was giving us an idea of what we may have to pay. And well, you know, in relation to what we're getting, but then obviously you're going to get the best price you can. But that gives you a rough idea. I know my mate Luke, like I say, he's quoting 130 in a Luton, and I think he's a little bit cheap, but he does win a lot of jobs. And my mate Franz, he's getting decent money as well. So, but he's only in a long wheelbase, and he's getting over £1 a mile. So that gives you an idea of what I think the prices are at the moment. For vans on the exchange, and then it just comes down to minimum price for job. Minimum price for job, I always used to say in a small van is like 25 quid. Going up to like in the Luton, I used to do £65 minimum on a job, unless it's ridiculous. Unless I was in Milton Keynes, it was dropping off in Leighton Buzzard. It's going 10 miles, and I'd drop it off and go home. You get 40 quid. That's increased now as well, I think. Small, because in a small van, you go 4 small van jobs in a day, £25 a day, 100 quid, that's my take home. Now I think you want to be looking at more like 40 quid. Going up to minimum job on a Luton, again, everything's gone up by about £20. So whereas before £25, now 40, 45. In a Luton used to be 65 quid, now £85. And increments in between. Now, it will all depend. Did a video recently on times and areas and how that affects jobs, and it depends on how many vans there are around you. It depends on competition. It depends on how badly you want the job. It depends, you know, if it's running at 11 o'clock at night, they're going to find it hard to get it off. So you've got to bear all this kind of stuff in line. But I just want to give you a rough idea of what I believe are the prices that vans are running at the moment. If you've got any input, stick it in the comments. We'll put it in the Q&A, but I think that's pretty much about right. So hopefully that gives you an idea. If you just started or you're running, you'll give you an idea, go, well, actually I think I'm a bit dear, or actually I'm a bit cheap. If we get us all tuned in, we all get to do an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. The shippers get the money, the customer gets the right price, we get the right price, and everybody's happy. So like I say, it's designed to help. I hope it works, and I hope you take care and take money.